Hello everybody, welcome back to Thornton Farm. Today we're doing some mowing. We got two fields to mow today. We got this one, which is I believe field 22. Yeah, 22, and then field 32. Field 10 we will grass hop. Use the grass hopper on that one, and we should be good. After that, and then it'll all be tedding, windrowing and baling, and then we'll be able to move onwards with our lives from this grass work, which is seemingly taking forever. And honestly, if I'm being honest, it is getting a bit old now, even for me. So we're going to try and get this done as quickly as we possibly can. I've still not been in contact with Sergey. For those of you, for anybody wondering, Sergey has just completely gone off the radar. I've spoken to Quentin. He hasn't seen Sergey. Last time he saw Sergey was shortly after the Stonehenge incident. When... Was it after? Yeah. Yeah, shortly after that, when he and Bubba helped him do some silage and just hired random women, apparently. And he isn't very happy with Sergey, so he wants a word with Sergey. I'm sure Sergey will show up eventually. Presumably with something, some sort of ridiculous story cooked up. But yeah, that's the latest on Sergey, is nobody actually knows where he is. Latest on Quentin, he's doing well. He's apparently been making some hay on Orchard Farm, and he's looking into actually moving away from there in the nearish future. Believe it or not, already. He's barely spent a year there. He's already thinking of moving. And yeah, that's pretty much all I know about Quentin's stuff, really. Is he's considering moving to a new farm. There's a steam train passing by. The local steam enthusiasts are off for another joyride. I mean, it's quite a large community, the local steam community. I mean, look at all those... How did they get that much rolling stock together? I mean, seriously. That's kind of silly. I think the entire village is actually on that train. Just getting drunk constantly. I swear. Because it seems like the village is completely empty. There's no cars on the road. There's not even a train station. I don't know where the train comes from. But all I know is the village regularly heads out on drunken joyrides in that train. And they seem to be more and more frequent. So nothing really as such gets done in the village. And the pub isn't too happy, which is why he had me clean up the playground area and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a recurring thing until Sergey's loan is or Sergey's tab is paid off, and I'm going to try and escape before that happens. But yeah, back to mowing. I know it's kind of getting old now, the amount of mowing we've been doing, but it is a job that needs doing. It's not something that I can just abandon and, go into the woods and do some forestry or just leave it until harvest time and then do all the harvest at once. For the simple reason of the money is needed. Very much so at this point in time. We are £33,000 in debt between a bank overdraft and a loan. £20,000 loan, £13,000 of overdraft. We need to get the money together again. And yeah, we gotta pay that off. We can probably sell some sell some stuff from the industrial estate to the town. And that'll have to be prepared in advance. The guys in the warehouses aren't exactly the most helpful people. They tend to bring out one thing every couple of minutes. So I'll have to prepare all the stuff that I want to sell off in advance. It'll probably be cardboard boxes. They seem to just... That factory just seems to do nothing but work. So we'll probably be getting rid of some cardboard boxes. I'd like to get a second hive production plant going, which is that's gonna cost money. because after how little the planks were making in the last video, I've kind of come to the conclusion that the sawmill I can kind of ignore for the most part, just when the hive production area needs... When hive production needs some more stuff, I can throw some planks in that and then we'll be done with that. And it doesn't go through planks anywhere near as fast as the sawmill's just throwing them out. So a second hive production plant would be an idea, which would mean we'd need more bee houses, which... It's increasingly looking like honey is going to be one of our main earners. And if and when we get cows, I'm looking into getting some cows. So I might have one of these fields, possibly field 3, just be silage. I might just windrow that field up and come out with a forage wagon, because I've got a forage wagon, it's not a big deal. Go out with the Massey, the forage wagon, and just move that into the silage clamp. That might be an idea. Coming down here to start the lines so that I can finish at the entrance to the field, because we're actually going to need to pop this back onto the trailer and get going again. There's the goods train. Bit of a shame there's no goods depot near here. I'd like to be able to throw some Hapag-Lloyd and Hyundai and Evergreen. Hapag-Lloyd and Hyundai in particular, I don't know how many cars they're selling around here, but it's clearly a lot, because every train seems to be made up of about half a Hyundai. And a good, well, half Hapag-Lloyd and almost half Hyundai. With a couple of Evergreen containers in there. That's kind of an impressive... an impressive makeup. A lot of cars on the move. Maybe they're being shipped back to Korea, because they're not being sold. That'd be a twist in the tail, wouldn't it? But things have been going pretty well. I've not really been talking about the farm as a whole, because I've been focused on hay so much. Apart from the industrial estate is really producing well. We've got 30,000 cardboard boxes waiting to be sold off. Another 24,000, I think, pallets. We're doing well in general for the whole industrial estate side of things. One thing that I am considering doing is starting up the greenhouses. Now that would require me buying manure, which would not be the best thing in the world. But at the same time, it would not be a bad idea to bring in more money. I think as well, the fruit would bring in more money as fruit than I could probably make from just, well, it's more money for sure, and hopefully there'd be a profit on the manure. And now that the Compost Master is running, that's going to be effectively free fertilizer. So it's really looking like come harvest time I'll be looking into some cows. If I can get the next next cut of grass I want to turn into silage anyway, so I might do second cut silage after this first cut hay. And we can be effectively rolling in money. Now, the issue with that is I'd like to get a silage baler to make round bales and wrap them instead of the square wrapper, because I think an all-in-one would be just more convenient, because then it would be a case of I can make hay and straw bales with the square baler, and then if and when I need silage, or when I'm cutting silage, I can just go off with the round baler and work like that. I think that'd be the better option available to me. Now, I might... Well, I say I might. I'm definitely going to have a look into that option. Because as things stand, obviously there's the debt, which, isn't great. That's not a good thing to have. But if I can get maybe I might turn this field into silage bales. See, if I can bale a field into silage, I can sell those silage bales and make quite a decent profit. Is what I'm thinking. Even at summer prices, so maybe that's something I should do. I'm not 100% sure. But it would be a good way of getting this, well, a round baler. And the issue with the round baler would be that the bales would roll everywhere. And that'd just be annoying and inconvenient. I mean, the other option would be to get a forage harvester, which that'd be even more annoying and inconvenient. And expensive, for that matter. One thing I will say is it's looking increasingly unlikely that we'll get the Big M anytime soon. I'd like to, if possible, get that before we move to Ventonwyn. The finances are working out pretty well that we should be moving around, hopefully, springtime, maybe a bit later. And that's kind of where that's going at the moment, and Quentin has already said that he'll be joining us when we do that. But it might be, you know, it might be delayed a year or something. I really don't know what's gonna happen there, but I'll be moving to Ventonwyn as soon as I possibly can. It's just a case of getting the finances right at the moment, and they're lining up, but there's a lot of potential ways that it could go wrong or get slowed down, stuff like that, so it's looking good today, but in 2 hours time it might look bad. You know, it might not look so good for moving on time and getting everything sorted like that, so, you know, it's a changing situation. All I can really do is just get the farm running as efficiently as I can. I think it's running a bit inefficiently at the moment. I think I'm gonna have to have a look at what equipment I have and what hardware I've got, and maybe make some calls on changing stuff or getting rid of stuff. Because I think, if memory serves, I saw more that I just don't plan on using ever in the yard. That can go because it's gonna it has no purpose with this thing. The square bale wrapper I'm gonna keep for now, just because come autumn I do plan on making silage bales, and the way things currently stand, they're gonna be square bales. And I'm gonna have a look at other equipment. I think maybe the small windrower might need to go. I might get something a bit more cost efficient. Or maybe buy it off Quentin, I don't know. Because I know Quentin's got something that I would be interested in for doing, like hay up in Stonehenge. Now there's a horse farm. I've spoken to a horse farm. They are wanting the hay, and they said they'll come and collect it themselves, so I can just leave it in the field. They'll come, get it themselves, pay me as they're leaving, and that'll be all good. So that's that potential issue completely resolved. Because I didn't really want to move the hay. You know, that would have just been an inconvenience, really. Above anything else, that would have been an inconvenience. What other loose ends are there currently that I haven't spoken about? The sprayer. I have come to the conclusion that the Pantera isn't the sprayer we need. I think the best thing we can do is get rid of it, get a manure spreader, and maybe a small sprayer as well. Just, I don't think the self-driving sprayer is really worth it. Other than the mower, which we've got so much ground to cover that the mower is actually necessary to have a single-use piece of equipment. I don't see the point of having a single-use piece of equipment other than the mower. And the sprayer is a single-use piece of equipment that gets used once, maybe twice a year, and then goes back into being mothballed. And with the Compost Master now running, and it will be running on a more permanent basis, I think the best course of action is to get rid of the sprayer, get myself a decent sized manure spreader, have kind of all the equipment as personal assets, write them over to myself, so that when we move to Ventolin we can actually move the equipment with us and continue there. And we still don't have a harvester, and that's going to be a big issue in the autumn. It's still, still only early summer, so it's not a big issue right now, but it will be an issue. That's something that will need resolving. It'll probably end up with me borrowing one, or renting one or something. And honestly, I don't mind if that's the case. It's, it's inconvenient, yeah, but I don't see why we'd need a harvester, which, in itself is a single-use piece of equipment that gets mothballed for most of the year. I think the more efficient method to harvest, especially on the scale we're farming at the moment, which is, single-field harvest, is to rent, harvest, cart the crops, and then bring the harvester back. And header trailer and all, all associated stuff. I don't see why we would need a large harvester for that. I don't see why we'd need to own a harvester for that. I'd like to operate myself, but, you could always get a contractor in to do the harvester driving for sure. Carting, I've got a trailer, I can do the carting, it's not a big deal. It's just fuel costs then, and the cost of one guy running the harvester. Unless, of course, Quentin wants to come over and bring his harvester with him, that would be, that might be the best case scenario, is get Quentin to bring his harvester over. It's a bit of a drive, though. And I don't think he's got a flatbed. I don't know how that'll work. I'll have to have a word with him about that, because I know he owns his own harvester, and if we can get him to loan us that for the day, because it would be a one-day harvest. It'd only take probably not even an hour. That might be our best case scenario, because it'd be the most cost-efficient option. Because Quentin wouldn't charge. I'd offer him money, he'd say no, it'll be fine. And I believe his harvester isn't too big, so I mean, yeah, that might be the option we take. The only issue would be the logistics of that. I don't know how the logistics of that will work out, because, well, I've got the flatbed trailer and a fast track. I don't know if his harvester would actually fit on my trailer, though. I mean, the header trailer definitely wouldn't, so yeah. It's assuming Quentin even has a header trailer. He might just have a header for it. Now, if he only has a header, no header trailer, I could drive down there someday and just give it a trial run. Let's see how that works out. I can't see that going too wrong. That might be the option we take. Because, I mean, that way he could drive the harvester. Because there's a passenger seat in the fast track, or he could bring his ridiculous Opel truck down with him. I wouldn't want him sitting in the harvester, because police might actually see that and be like, ew, woo, woo, woo. Why are you sitting at a harvester that's on a trailer? Yeah, I don't think he'd have many answers for that question. Yeah, I think... As much as I dislike Quentin's ridiculous Opel truck, because I have seen it, and it just doesn't fit in anywhere, does it? He loves it though, so I'm not gonna criticize. But if we can get that all sorted out, that's gonna be our best case scenario. The fast track can lead the way, because I think that's actually faster than his Opel, which is another reason I dislike his Opel truck. I mean, it's slower than the tractor. Come on, dude. But I think that is not necessarily a plan, but the best idea I can come up with right now. There might be a farmer nearby that has a similar sized harvester that, you know, he doesn't mind renting us, and then I can just head off in the Land Rover, pick Quentin up and drive back. But then I'd have to drop Quentin off. Okay, so either way, that ridiculous Opel truck is going to have to come here. Because I'm pretty sure Quentin would be okay to help out with the harvest. He said he would help if I needed it. And a harvest is a two-person job, so I think either way Quentin's going to be here for the harvest. Unless, of course, Sergey magically reappears and then he can drive the harvester, but I'm not getting a Russian one for him. I'm going to be getting, most likely at the moment, is probably Class Mega. There's a farmer, a few miles down the road that owns a Class Mega, and he said he actually openly said to me, you know, I barely use this thing. If you want it, you can have it for the day, or even if you want it for good, you know, $5,000, it's yours. Now, I don't see why we want it for good with... I mean, I think the big issue is how much land Vintommen comes with, because I don't know how much. I know there's like a lot of farmland that used to belong to the estate, and even when I was working there before, it was a case of it used to belong to the estate, the council bought it, and was using it for their schooling, agricultural schools, and we were kind of working bits and bobs of it from time to time, but I don't know exactly how much of that the farm actually owns now, or comes with the estate, so that's kind of a potential road bump. That's this field mode, by the way. What I need to do now is get this back onto the trailer. And, oh, wonderful, I turned the trailer around when I was, why did I turn the trailer around? Oh, because the header was on this way before anyway. So, next job is to get this over to field 32, wasn't it? Yes. Which is going to be... up. Okay, so left, right, and then probably down along the bottom of field 33 by the looks of it. So let's get the let's get on the move here. Odds are I won't be doing field 32 today, but if we can relocate, that'd be great. That is kind of... Okay, so left. Careful about the turning circle. Really careful about the turning circle. Okay. Beacon on. The beacon's on, because there's a beacon on the back of the trailer. That's the first left. Second left is up here. So we're going to want to be indicating already, really. I really don't know what the way into that field is going to be like. But if we can get all the mowing done, then we'll be good. Left here. And again, careful about the turning circle as we completely knack up the turn. Left here. Okay, left here. There we go. And then a right, the first right down on this road. That I think will bring us up by Declan's house. I think. I'm not 100% sure of that. But, oh god, this is going to be a tight turn. I don't know how the turning circle of this entire thing is going to cope. Okay, so I got to be super tight here. I think I turned a bit too late, so let's reverse out here and just start turning now. Oh, got stuck on a sign. Hooked a sign. I don't know if I'll be able to get around that. There we go, there we go, there we go. And then... it almost looks as if I can... if there's a little pathway off to the right here, I might be able to get in. The issue would of course be turning circle again. Is there going to be a little laneway off to the... there is a little laneway off to the right here. And, oh, this is not the kind of turn I want to be trying to take. Come on, in you go. In you go. In you go. Slowly and steady will win this race. This is a hellish field to try and figure out, or will be once I get mowing it. This is a dirt path going up through it. I don't know if this trailer will fit in through the gate. I don't know if I can actually get in this way. Let's give it a... no. There's absolutely no way I can get in through that gate. So we're gonna have to go up and into this field over here, turn around and go by the other field. Do you know, I'm gonna end this video here just because it's been 28 minutes. I got all the work I really wanted to get done. Hopefully when I come back to you next time, I'll be finished the mowing. I'll have at least most of the windrowing done, or most of the tedding, and hopefully most of the windrowing and quite a bit of the baling, so we can actually work on the industrial estate, that side of things, and make sure everything's running fine. But I will leave you now by saying I've been Rainbow Dave, you've been watching Thornton Farm and Farming Simulator 17. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and do share the video on Facebook, Twitter, and all that good stuff. And feel free to watch the playlists as well, which will be on the end screen, which should be on your screens right now. Until next time, stay safe, and goodbye.